Hey, ladies. It's your girl Cherie in the house. I hope you're doing well today. I was thinking earlier today about, just various things that are happening. I've been listening to a lot of different people's content and mostly listening from the skies and the clouds and things like that. And all of a sudden today, I just felt like, okay, I want to come and I want to talk about the danger that I am seeing. A lot of news stories out there, a lot that's happening, and I think it's important for us to talk about it. If anyone is not familiar with the thumbnail, that is Whoopi Goldberg. She was in a movie called Ghost, which she ended up winning the Oscar for. And in Ghost, there's this whole saying, Molly girl, you in danger. And Molly was in danger. People trying to kill her. And Whoopi Goldberg and Patrick Swayze had to come and save the day for her. So look, Black women, we are in danger too. Um, there's a lot that's happening out there. I kind of wanted to come talk about it. But while people are coming in, I wanted to, first of all, start with just a little bit of fun and energy and things like that. I am a fan of Black women dating interracially. I'm fascinated with Asian women and how Asian women did it. So I came across this video a while ago and I wanted to play it for you. Everybody, let me know when I start to play it if you are able to hear the sound. Um, I'm going to start playing it now. Okay, let me know if y'all can hear. Um, Want to make sure y'all can hear. Oh, y'all are saying no sound. Okay, let me try it again. Oh, I hate this. Every time I think I have it all together, it does not seem to be working that way. So let me try here. Let me try to put it someplace else and see if that works better. Give me a sec. All right, let's see here. I'm going to try it again. And I just changed it in the browser here. Let's see. Let me know if y'all can hear it now. Okay, can y'all hear it now? Let me know if y'all can hear it now or if it's still a sound issue. It's still no sound. Darn it. StreamYard does not want me to be great today. I don't know what the problem is. Let's see here. Um, I'm going to try it one more time. Okay, I'm going to try everybody again one more time. Let me know.
A lot of people seem to be fixated on what Asian women date. First of all, I don't give a fuck about what other women date. None of my business. Now, if you ask me why I'm married to a hillbilly, I'm happy to share. I'm in a good mood today. So let's go.
All right. It's still no sound. Oh, it's good to go now. Okay, cool. I'm gonna start it all over again. Everybody, come on in, follow in. We're about to talk about You and Danger Girl, but as I was saying before, for everybody who's new coming in, um, I wanted to just start off with this video because I think it is cool, and I um, as we are talking about dating, cross culturally, interracially, things like that. Asian women have done it, and I came across this video, and I really like this woman and her vibe. So I'm gonna start it again, and we're gonna listen to what she has to say.
A lot of people seem to be fixated on what Asian women date. First of all, I don't give a fuck about what other women date. None of my business. Now, if you ask me why I'm married to a hillbilly, I'm happy to share. I'm in a good mood today. So let's go. I'm considered ugly to Chinese beauty standards. No cap. Big square face, slanted pusabows, high cheekbones, big jawlines. I've always been made fun of growing up in China. My homies are the worst. They tell me to marry some white dude because they like ugly Chinese women. And I tell my homies to grow a penis. The insult game between us is real. As you can see, that's how I developed talking shit as a skill. I'm happy with myself. I don't give a fuck if I fit into Chinese beauty standards or not. There are people who think I'm beautiful, and there are people who think I'm ugly. It is what it is. But to some hillbilly standards, I'm fucking beautiful. Not only my looks, but my personalities. I'm a damn unicorn. Of course I fucking married him. Questions? I'm shining. Peace out.
Here again.
Ah,
Let's.
stop.
How many of you grew up?
Okay, y'all got to see some of my other other viewing here. First of all, what did y'all think about the Chinese girl? The Chinese girl married a hillbilly. She said, but in China's Chinese beauty standards, that she's not considered pretty, but she don't give a care. And I found this video a while ago. I've been wanting to bring it to the channel here because I think that this is in line with what a lot of us here within our culture. You'll never be able to get a man. You'll never be able to date outside of your race. And especially with what happened with Cynthia and the Fox Soul community, this past week, we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing that as Black women are deciding to open up their options and see who else is out there, because maybe some of us are not considered pretty by traditional Black standards, or maybe we're a little thick, and oh, white men, they want a slender girl or things like that. I thought that again, that this video was super inspirational and aspirational. So what do y'all think with regards to that video? Because I loved it. I loved it. So y'all can put in the chat what you're thinking. Uh, Hello to Arrow Demi Dive saying that hope you're doing well. Hope yeah, I am. It's been a crazy past couple of weeks, which is why I haven't done a live with all of you. But I decided to come in today. At work today trying to get some stuff done, and I decided I wanted to come and talk to you girls. So glad to have everybody here. Nobody's commenting on the Asian woman video. That's interesting. Okay, well, let's talk about danger. Y'all probably cooking or doing things with the kids or things like that. So look, let's talk about danger. Again, the thumbnail is all about You and Danger Girl. The thumbnail comes from Ghost, the movie from the 1990s, where there's a woman played by Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg goes to her and says, you in danger, right? there's so much that's happening. I'm watching a lot of channels with regards to uh, so much that's happening right now. And I just like, all of a sudden this morning, I was just like, you know what? I think I need to come and talk to the ladies about the danger that we're seeing and how we actually can maneuver around it. So Arrow Demi Dive is saying she did what she had to do to get what she wanted. Kudos. We need to do this if a relationship is what we want. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Computer and Coin, she's right. You should be with who appreciates you and don't worry what others think. Stephanie, hey Stephanie. I don't know anything about the Asian video. I just played it, Stephanie, so you're gonna have to rewind it a little bit. But it's about beauty standards in China and basically how this woman, uh, just rewind it. She basically is saying she's not pretty by Chinese standards, but when she dated outside of her race, she ended up getting a husband, and it sounds like she's saying she's got a pretty great one. So good to see you here, Steph. So yeah, look. Everybody was talking a few years ago with Kevin Samuels about winter is coming. Y'all, winter is absolutely coming this year with what's happening in the Ukraine, with what's happening in Russia. You know, stuff internationally is going crazy. Stuff at home is going crazy. I'm going to pull up a few uh, articles for us to know. We've got an affordable housing crisis. We've got tent cities happening. We've got lonely men. I know I didn't talk about that personally, but a lot of you saw the Psychology Today report about lonely men. We've got indoctrination in our schools. We've got a senator in Rhode Island that wants to teach our children how to give, you know, fellatio, I will say, at an age appropriate level. I'm going to show you all of this stuff. I'm going to show you all of this stuff, you know, and we're going to talk today about like the fact that we as Black women are under attack from a lot of different areas. I'm not going to pull it up today, but many of you are seeing the hashtag not my Ariel and all of that crap. But we're also seeing where Black women are being put out front and center for some really great things as well. And I have some comments and thoughts about that, but I kind of want to flush them out a little bit more. I personally will say to all of you that appreciate this now. It hasn't always been this way, and it won't always be this way. So we have to be prepared to take the opportunities that we are being given now, and I'm going to discuss some of the opportunities that are out there. Y'all know my channel is all about Black women making money. I don't believe that money is 100% of what you need, but I do believe it's 80%. And, you know, with money, with the right amount of money, with the right amount of opportunity, you are able to figure the other 20% out, or at least have the funds to make it happen. So, all right, look. Hey, Black Widow Row, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. So let's kind of start a little bit more with regards to some of the things that's happening. And I'm going to share my screen again. I am going to get better with StreamYard. For whatever reason, StreamYard's acting a little funny for me. But look, like I said, winter is coming. There are a lot of layoffs. We are in danger. We are in danger right now with regards to the economy and the upcoming economy. This is from Forbes magazine. This is just a few days old. Get ready for a winter, and they mean like a physical winter, of discontent with layoffs, high inflation, and a plunging stock market. The economy is about to, well, it's already changing, right? Yeah, gas prices are down now, but that's just, in my opinion, that is just to get the Democrats through midterms. And then who knows what's going to happen after that. with the Ukraine, with Russia, there's a lot of oil reserves that may or may not be released and things like that. The Fed is saying that they're going to be increasing interest rates more. That means if you have credit cards, you're going to have to pay more money on those balances, which means that they don't care. The US government and the Fed has basically said that they need to take care of inflation first. So they will raise interest rates as much as they have to in order to get inflation under control. Stock market may go up, may go down. Hopefully you all are investing for the long term if you're young enough. If you are not as young, if you're a mature person, definitely go check with your financial advisor. But just know that winter is coming. We have to be prepared. We have to be prepared with skills. We have to be prepared with savings. If you are excessively spending now, you may want to think about that. Even me, I have to kind of dial some things back and change some things around. Black Widow Row is saying, thank you for this channel. I'm doing your 25K by December challenge. Yay! I appreciate this channel so much. You are welcome. I love it. Black Widow Row is saying, yep, I agree. Also, they are pushing for electric cars in California, energy crisis. Oh, I didn't even think about the electric cars, but not only is it going to be in California, it's going to be worldwide over the next decade. So yeah, I told everyone to fix your credit during the pandemic. So everyone should invest in fixing their credit. I agree with that. Look, your credit will affect your insurance rates. It's going to affect sometimes your ability to get jobs. All the time, your ability to move into apartment buildings or get housing or things like that. So definitely fix your credit. Yes, absolutely. So look, let's talk about the next thing here that I have on my list. So, because there's a lot happening. So, one of the other things that's happening out here is this whole thing with the Illinois Safety Act. So let's talk about this. So we have some, hey, Ariana, nice to see you. Welcome being a new sub. Yay. Okay, so this Illinois Safety Act, there was during 2020, there were a lot of things around defund the police and all sorts of stuff like that. People have been talking about this Illinois Safety Act. It is scary. I'm telling you that if you are in the Illinois area or any of the surrounding states, I'm sure you all already know about this. This is a huge thing. Now, there was some clarifying information which we're going to go through, but even with the clarifications that I'm seeing, all I have to say is I'm glad I don't live in Illinois. And I saw another, I wish I had it. There was another segment that I saw on the news that said in some states, somebody could be sleeping in your garage, could be like, set up in your garage, and all the police can do is come in and give them a ticket. I wish I had kept it. I should have saved it to my save list to show you girls. But crime is going up, because there are a lot of states playing with this no cash bail thing. So when we say we in danger, we are in danger. We're going to be physically in danger. We're going to have certain issues if we do not arm ourselves and prepare ourselves. Arodemi Dive is saying there are food shortages and the crime rate is rising. The crime rate is rising because of food, lack of affordable housing. There are a whole bunch of tent cities. People feel like they don't have anything to lose. It's crazy. I'm going to show this now.
Tonight, questions surrounding the Illinois Safety Act and whether it will keep residents safe.
The law will soon eliminate cash bail for pre-trial release.
I'm going to start
Tonight, questions surrounding the Illinois Safety Act and whether it will keep residents safe.
The law will soon eliminate cash bail for pre-trial release. New tonight, our Pepper Baker is clarifying some of the misinformation circulating online. Pepper.
Mike, and yeah, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Safety Act in 2021 that addresses a wide variety of criminal justice issues. This massive crime reform package is in the spotlight again for one of its provisions known as the Pretrial Fairness Act, which will end cash bail in 2023, sparking concern, speculation, and assumptions on freeing suspects before trial.
Honey, if I needed $500 to get out of jail today, I would be sitting there because I don't have that kind of money.
Let me first of all say something. If you don't have $500 to get out of jail, you have a serious income problem. I know I'm being mean. I know I'm being elitist. I don't care. I'm here to protect and help Black women with this. If you do not have $500 to get out of jail, if you do not have $500 to get a new car, a new tire for your cars, if you do not have $500 to get some sort of medical test taken and that's your deductible, you have an income problem. And here this woman is sitting on national TV as a state, I think she's a state representative or something like that, saying she doesn't have $500. I know I might sound elitist, but ladies, the first thing you have to do is get at least $1,000 in your account or on a credit card or something like that. That is just for emergency savings. Black Widow Rowe is saying, yep, I'm glad. I don't live there either. It's scary. I'm in Ohio. You're in an adjacent state. And they are tough on crime here. Well, that's unfortunate. I wanted to move to Chicago. Look, I saw something else with business owners in Chicago that are leaving Chicago because they would have people coming in and messing with their customers and things like that. And they would call the cops and the cops weren't coming. Chicago's a mess. We are the only ones in the Midwest who are pushing back on no cash bail because Ohio is highly conservative, although it's a swing state. Look, I hate to call politics the way I call it, but I would be voting Republican. Ariana saying, I want to live in a big city in general, though. It makes sense because I'm a younger girl and I want more fun and luxurious lifestyle. You have to balance out living in a city with safety. Yeah. So let's continue looking at this here.
She used to lock people up. Now, former Illinois State Trooper Marie Franklin advocates for criminal justice reform as a community organizer in East St. Louis.
Over 200.
She's a state trooper, y'all. Okay.
150,000 people a year in the state of Illinois are being held pre-trial and are being held there because they don't have the money to bond out. And the percentage of those people that are Black and brown is typically around 90-ish%.
Franklin favors the Safety Act, which includes the Pretrial Fairness Act, set to end cash bail for pretrial release in 2023. St. Louis University Law School professor Anders Walker breaks it down simply.
So it's true, as cash bail is over, now judges decide if you pose a risk of hurting someone or running away, they'll keep you behind bars. Otherwise, you'll be free to go home until your court date.
So this was part of the misconception that I saw online here on YouTube. It is saying that judges have the right to choose, but suppose you get some super liberal judge and they're about to show you things that they can let people off on. And the list I saw, there's no way whatsoever.
The new law says when a suspect is accused, the court will hold a hearing and may keep them behind bars if they are charged with a forcible felony.
There are some felonies, though, that don't qualify, like drug possession. It's possible those people might go out and commit crime, but the idea is they're probably not likely to.
Forcible felonies in Illinois law includes crimes like second-degree murder, contrary to misinformation spreading online suggesting the law.
All right, look at this here. Illinois non-detainable offenses: aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson. Who the hell wants an arsonist, accused arsonist out on bail? Burglary? And you think we aren't in danger? Drug-induced homicide? Do we really care if it's drug induced? Are you all seeing this? I'm trying to make this bigger. Intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official. Oh, come on. And I looked to see what the miscommunication was, but this doesn't look good to me. One of the things I'm encouraging Black women to do is get your money right so you can have options. If you're going to stay in Illinois, figuring out what the laws are in your state for you to protect yourself and your family and your kids, whether you're in your house, protect your property, protect yourself while you're outside, at the grocery stores, things like that. Or if you want to move and you have the type of job where you can work from home, maybe you move states. But we can't do these things without money. Ultimately, Black women need to create a political action committee and people who want this type of stuff be damned, is how I feel. But let's keep watching.
Would instantly release violent suspects before trial.
If you are arrested for second-degree murder, you must be taken before a judge, and the judge must have a robust hearing to determine whether you are able to be eligible for release or not.
I don't know if these judges are elected. But if you live in Illinois, this is a way of protecting yourself as well. These judges are going to have a lot of say-so.
It is not automatic.
Judges have to be very careful, though, about who they release and who they keep. Not everybody should be released. If they're dangerous, they should stay behind bars.
All right, look. I'm going to read some of your comments here because I'm kind of hot about this. Every time I think about this. Ariana is saying, I live in upstate New York, very liberal, but still some Republicans. But I feel like the Republicans still support Joe Biden. They can support Joe Biden. Here's the interesting thing. We have to know what politicians are in charge of what, right? Joe Biden cannot pass legislation like this nationwide. He's responsible as the president for protecting our borders and a couple of other things. These state legislators, these state senators that people are electing, and the governor that's signing these things, these are the people that are responsible for your gun laws, for your safety, things like that. So Stephanie is saying, yes, vote Republican for the individual rep who stands against this, but also stands for the end of Black women poverty along with the end of Black femicide. I absolutely agree. 1000% agree. Arademi Dive is saying, Republicans implement the laws that keep Black women safe and let us keep our money. I voted red. Look, I'm with you. Black Widow Rowe is saying, I sincerely do not think people thought this through, nor did they read into what this would, how this would impact or benefit. They didn't look at the bigger picture. Second-degree murder, good gracious, the purge is going to let loose. Absolutely. And they're going to go after the weakest people. If you were a woman, if you were a single woman with children, you already live in Chicago, in certain areas of Chicago, this is going to be crazy. There are people who are creating these master communities to keep people out. And some of the people they would want to keep out are people like us. If they think we're going to bring issues into their master communities. We have to fight against this, ladies. Threatening a public official, yeah. Look, get whatever weapons your state will allow Black women, get proficient with them. Yeah, go take classes, get your concealed permits, whatever you have to do. I'm going to get mine. The judge can use discretion, but Chicago is liberal, and that's where the crime is going to shoot up. Yeah, but even if you live in the suburbs, somebody could drive to your suburb and, cause problems for you. I used to be an organizer, and cash bail had been a conversation for years. Ohio did not and will not support cash bail. Very pro-policing. I knew Chicago would pass this. It was always predicted. Yeah. Correct, Cherie. Also, voters have to know who are in the committees in both houses. I agree with that. I agree with that. Um, Ariana's saying, what big cities would you recommend for younger Black women? A lot of big cities have crime, but the beauty of big cities is that they have nice areas because they are big cities. And y'all can put in the chat which cities, you're thinking of. I'm thinking southern cities, you know, southern cities with that are tough on crime, but it kind of depends on what you're able to do if you're able to work from home. So I would be looking at a Georgia, maybe not Atlanta, but maybe some other city, or maybe Florida, maybe Texas. Texas would be good. There's Austin, there's Houston, there's Dallas. There's a lot happening in Texas. um, Stephanie is saying New York. Okay. Stephanie lives in New York, and get the likes up so more Black women get this needed information. Thank you so much for reminding people to get the likes up. Yeah. So people thought cash bail would be for petty crimes and drug charges. I'm serious. He just said that drug offenses aren't included. Who mix this with anti-policing? It's a wrap. Okay. So let's talk about drug offenses. Drug offenses can be, if it's someone smoking marijuana, I don't care. But depending on the types of drugs they are addicted to and how desperate they are, they can be the gateway to violent crime because people are looking for money for that. I'm sorry to be, controversial, but I really don't care. This is a good thing about having my own channel. So we have to even be careful about what we're talking about with drug offenses being okay. And that's, and make sure that we understand that how people are going to be able to get their drugs. I don't want someone knocking me over, knocking my grandmother over because they have a drug habit. We already have this, and you all see how it affects us. New York is having some problems right now, but upstate New York, I know, is pretty good. So Texas is good, Florida too. Yeah, Ariana. So let's talk about the other dangers that are happening here. So another big danger that I am seeing is affordable housing in tent cities. So I'm going to share my screen here again, and I've got something to show you. There's a lot of tent cities, a lot of poverty happening. This is from January. This is the Pew Research Center. A growing share of Americans say affordable housing is a major problem where they live. We're seeing a huge issue with affordable housing. 49% of Americans think that affordable housing is an issue. Black people saying 57% thinks affordable housing is an issue. Hispanic and Asian is pretty much the same. Young people ages 18 to 49 think that affordable housing is an issue. In the urban areas, 63% think that affordable housing is an issue. In the West and in the Northeast, 69% and 49% say that affordable housing is an issue. Why am I bringing up affordable housing? I think this is a matter of people being desperate. The more that people are desperate in this country, the harder it's going to be for us, and the more we're going to have to be honest about our safety. Also, for some Black women, the harder it is to get into affordable housing, and there's a huge lack of affordable housing as well. I didn't pull that up, but there is. In every single state, there's a lack of affordable housing. If you have children, how many Black women are we seeing with their children starting to live in tents, starting to be outdoors, or threatened to be outdoors? I was talking to a woman who used to work with HUD, the Housing and Urban Development, and she's been talking to some of her people in the political space and landscape, pretty high up people. If I said their names, you might know who they are. But she was telling me last week that so many of the landlords took HUD money and didn't do the right thing with them, with the money, with regards to fixing up the properties and things like that, that HUD is like pausing giving money out for affordable housing. They're restructuring their programs. And there's going to be an affordable housing issue for a long time. So, one of the things that I would recommend is, ladies, get your money up. If you think that you're going to have a housing issue, an affordable housing issue, I'm going to make a suggestion to you. And there's a lot of stuff on this channel. I'm not going to go through it on this session here. There's a lot of stuff on this channel with regards to resources where you can, within 3 to 6 months, have new skills that could put you in a new tax bracket for you and your children. Or if you're by yourself, you by yourself. Whenever I present resources to you, they're usually $60,000 of a base salary. I have a tech sales thing that I'm going to show you all next week. That is, once you've gone through that class, takes you about 3 months to go through it. They have a recruiter that's a part of it, and you'll probably get a $60,000 job plus commission to start. Tech sales. Once you get good at tech sales, you can make $150,000, $200,000. There are a lot of great salespeople making $200,000 in tech sales. I want to do more to show you, ladies, different things that you can do to get into different careers or start your business and actually grow it to something where you can bring home $200,000 plus. Because we need to be as far away from poverty as possible. Black Widow Row is saying, if you're a younger woman, do research on each state and the city you want to move to. Look up crime rates, abortion laws, resources for disability, income, and how women are doing in that state. That is great suggestion. Stephanie is saying upstate New York is worse. They have a worse drug problem than NYC. NYC keeps Black women safer than a lot of the rest of the country. I didn't know that. Okay. We also have here Affordable Widow Row saying affordable housing is a big convo. They are rolling back project housing everywhere. Those vouchers are very few now. You know what? You bring up a good point. They are rolling back a lot of the voucher programs, a lot of the safety nets. I think over the next 15 to 20 years, the United States is going to be broke. And there will be a universal basic income program. That's just my thought and my theory. There's going to be a universal basic income program, but that's just going to keep you just over broke. You're not going to be able to make any real moves with it. So the best thing to do is try to make some moves now. Stephanie is saying we have to go back to helping each other the way we did before the 60s. Black women live together to raise your children. Stop worrying about relationship with males who don't help. Look. The amount of relationship content I see and the amount of people I see in relationship live streams that are 4 or 5 hours each, ladies, we have to do better with regards to our time management. If you are living in poverty now, you don't need a man. I don't care what any of these male relationship gurus are telling you. If you are living in poverty right now, if you can't put $500 together right now in order to, if an emergency happens, you don't need to be focused on relationship content. You need to be focused on getting your money up. And Black women can help each other. That's actually one of the things I have in my notes here, is that we need to start thinking about how we help each other, both short-term and long-term. Black Widow Row is saying, I've been encouraging that. I've been interested in tech sales. I'm in tech now. Look, the tech sales space is already on fire, and it is over the next couple of decades going to continue going up. So yeah, I'm probably going to release that video about Tuesday, Wednesday. So do we recommend Tampa or Miami? I don't know enough about either. So if America becomes broke, I will move to Europe. You need to check with them too, because they may be broke as well. Black Widow Rose saying, I think so too. Did you see the EBT and Singlish checks coming to certain states? They are preparing to roll it out. Yeah, look. I think it's interesting because what I am seeing and hearing people talk about is there's a lot more poverty, a lot more tent cities, a lot more panhandling, and people asking and begging for support and things like that. Um, and there are certain stimulus checks that are coming out. Like, for example, they're testing a reparations program in California. They're testing certain programs in Georgia and things like that. But America's moving to the haves and the have-nots, and all I could suggest is that you become a have. Anai, I hope I'm saying your name right. New to the channel, love the content. Thank you so much. Black Widow Road, the relationship content is for the Black men who are in poverty, trying to get a Black woman to feel bad and let him live with her. The men know a decline is coming. You are absolutely right. One of the dangers that I wanted to talk about, and I'll bring it up now, when they talked about the rise of lonely men, I just wasn't able to come on. I wanted to do a segment on lonely men and upwardly mobile women because we are going to be targets. And I'm putting myself in that category as well because I am single by choice. But we're going to be targets. These men are going to be looking for sugar mamas. And one of the best things that we can do is make sure that our loneliness, we can be alone, but do not let loneliness consume us so much that we end up making a bad decision. In some of these states, if you let a man live with you for 30 days, you cannot just kick him out. And some of these men know the laws better than you do. Some of them have been moving from couch to couch to couch and bed to bed to bed. And they know that depending on the state you live in, they can live with you for 30 days, sweet talk you, next thing that you know, they're living there for a year. You try to get them out and the cops say what? Sorry, can't help you. Maybe Eastern Europe, Canada, or South America. Yeah, possible. Black Widow Rose saying, I'm encouraging Black women to buy real estate and live in it with their children, multifamily houses. It's easy to start a brokerage now. Yeah, so one of the other things when it comes to buying a house, there's a program called NACA. It stands for, I'm going to pull it up here so you girls can see it, or you ladies, I should say, can see it. So, let me show it to you here. This is one of my favorite programs here. This is NACA, Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. They actually give you down payments for homes. So this is one program that's out here. It's legit. It does take, I will admit, it does take about 9 months to go through the program and to find a house and actually close on it. But if you need some help with down payment assistance, this is a great program. If you are willing to live in rural America, there are some programs as well through USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture. There are some programs as well. So look, you could start a brokerage, start a real estate career. You could start just a real estate business, period, doing real estate. They call it fix and flip or just flipping, wholesaling houses, etc. There's a woman named Sister Shanika. I'm going to try to get her to come on the channel at some point as we grow. But she teaches, especially Black women, how to get into real estate, and she does very well with that. So Stephanie's saying, I used to live in Miami. If you live near Barry University, you will be in a great area. Oh, cool. Black women have a lot of resources. We just need to put our heads together without men. I know so many Black teachers who can private tutor, homeschool Black children. I am so glad you said that, because that's one of the other things I wanted to talk about was the indoctrination of our children in these schools and the lack of good public education. I'm going to come back to that and read a few more of these. Stephanie is saying that is so correct here in NYC. It is called squatters' rights, and you have to go to court to evict them. Look. We have to be street smart. We have to be street smart right now, because the danger is not just like the guy who's in the hoodie who's going to rush up on us, or, people like that is also the people who could sweet talk us as well. So Computer and Coin is saying in NC, once someone starts getting mail at your house, they have a claim to stay. Look, don't let these people get mail to your house. Don't let them stay more than one night if you choose to. Protect yourself at all costs. A lot of Black women in poor neighborhoods can't and won't be able to afford to put kids in private schools. So this is a good time to look into contracting teachers to homeschool. Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about that is, yeah, I absolutely agree with you that a lot of Black women can't afford private school. But there are, with technology, you're able to use even Google Meet in order to have a teacher from anywhere in the world who is qualified to help teach your children. There's Khan Academy. There are other places that they could go in order to get resources. There are some school systems that have free support now. I was speaking with a client of mine who wanted to do a tutoring company, and his county now has what do you call it? They have contracted with a company, online tutoring company, to give all of the students free tutoring within the county. So check the local schools to see what kind of resources are available. I was going to become a real estate agent. I was going to get a PharmD or MD, but times are the essence, and I need to be focused on money and self-preserving. Yep, look, yeah. Try the real estate wholesaling if you want to be in real estate. I'll always be smart in school. Will always be there. I just need to get the money. Yeah. So let's talk about these schools. When we start talking about us being in danger, that includes our kids as well. I did a session a while ago on this channel talking about school safety being a $3 billion industry. It's going to go up astronomically. So definitely preparing your kids to be safe in school. There are bulletproof backpacks now. When I was in school, we didn't have this, but definitely making sure your kids are safe in school. But there's also a lot of indoctrination that's happening in school as well. And I am concerned with some of the things I'm seeing with regards to LGBTQ, and I'm not against LGBTQ, but I do think that having kids introduced at all stages to these things, I don't think it's a good idea. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's a good idea. There's also other indoctrination. People are whitewashing history. People are changing up history. They're taking out textbooks. They're all sorts of just stuff that's happening in our schools. And I wanted to show another thing as well, which is that these public schools aren't even preparing our kids for 21st century jobs. It's not like they're getting into schools and they're, able to actually going to come out and have the skills needed in order to get jobs or start businesses that are going to put them in the top tier. This is according to the Discovery Institute. K-12 schools are not even preparing our students for the workforce. And I read something, I didn't pull up the article here, but it said that 65% of the jobs that our kids will get are not even around today. So there are certain skills that our kids will need in order to be ready for the workforce. And these schools aren't even preparing our kids for what's needed. So a dramatic shift in the workforce landscape is underway. The pandemic didn't help. There's going to be a lot of remote work. McKinsey and company forecasts will require up to 25% more workers to change occupations than previously estimated. So there's a lot of AI coming, a lot of automation, the growth of e-commerce, and the landscape for how our kids are going to make money is changing. It is changing. There's, people are even saying now, oh, you should teach your kids how to code. You should teach your kids how to code. Here's the interesting thing. With coding, there will be a time in the near future where coding will be what like typing is today, or what doing a Google search is today. It's not going to be the high caliber skill that we think it's going to be. Problem solving is going to be the skills that kids are going to need. Building things with their hands is going to be the skills that they need. Being able to deal with the robots and actually maneuver with the robots are going to be the skills that they need. Machine learning, things like that. I'm going to do a whole show on robotics and automation, and even for us as Black women, over the next 7 to 10 years, a lot of our jobs are going to be wiped out due to automation and robotics, and we have to prepare for that. So they're saying here, in this new environment, not only will many current workers need to change careers, but future workers will need new skills to compete for jobs in non-traditional roles and emerging industries. However, K through 12 schools are not keeping pace with these changes. So I think there was something else I wanted to show you in this article as well. Here we are. The first victims of are our students who are no longer competitive against international counterparts. The U.S. K through 12 education places 26th amongst developed nations, trailing far behind the world leaders: China, Hong Kong, Finland, Singapore, South Korea, Japan, and Canada. Why am I talking about this? When I start talking about us being in danger and our kids being in danger, if they're not able to compete on a world stage in the metaverse with people from other countries, they're not going to be able to have a good economic future. The metaverse is coming. There used to be a time 20 years ago where the only competition you had for a job was Susie, who lived across town from you. Our kids are going to be going up against kids from all over the world for the same jobs, the same business opportunities, because a lot of stuff is going to be virtual. And our kids are not being prepared for these things. So again, when I'm saying Black women, we're in danger. Our lineage is in danger because our schools are not able to help our kids keep up. Somebody had mentioned before us coming together in order to get schooling for our kids, contracting teachers to homeschool. Contracting teachers to homeschool is going to be a big thing. Getting a group of Black women together and saying, you know what, we're going to homeschool our children, and we're going to give them extra tutoring and extra things that they need in order to be successful 10 years from now when they graduate and they need to actually have a high income skill. And you know what else I think? When we start talking about training our kids and them being in danger with regards to money and financial independence, we're turning into a TikTok generation, or we have a TikTok generation that cannot concentrate more than 1 to 3 minutes. Our kids need to learn how to focus on something long term. Can they focus on something for a couple of hours? Can they focus on something for 6, 9, 12 months? If we have children that can't do that, then, as we get older, we may end up having problems because our kids are not going to be able to survive. And the interesting thing with TikTok, and this is going around with regards to the algorithm, is that the algorithm in China is teaching those kids math and science and things like that. The algorithm in the United States is focused on dancing and relationships and foolishness. TikTok is dumbing down our students. The US education system is dumbing down our children. So yeah, Stephanie is saying, yes, Cherie, there is Connections Academy for free online school. Cool. Ariana is saying, do you think France would be a good place? I don't know. I've been to France before, but I never thought about living there. Yeah, there's bulletproof backpacks. Soon continuing education is going to be as important as or more important than K through 12. You are right. I'm an RN who works in tech. MIT and a few other robotic companies have created robot nursing assistants. They're being trialed in hospitals in California. That's a part of my research with what I'm doing with the robot session I'm going to have with you ladies. There are the CNAs. If you are a CNA, skill up. I can tell you right now, these robots are coming to take your jobs. RNs, there are RN robots now that are working in tandem with RNs. They are able to do repetitive tasks. If you have any kind of skill, or sorry, any kind of job that is a repetitive task, these robots are coming to take your jobs. Software developing is going to start being automated. Yep, even writing is going to start being automated. I thought it was crazy until I started really doing the research. And I'm a writer by trade, a business plan writer, and I'm about to be pushed out in the next 10 years of my job, of my business, unless I do something about it. Yeah, everybody should learn Python, especially younger people. Learn Python, absolutely. It's not that hard. I've learned a little bit of Python. I was surprised how easy it was. If I had concentrated on it, I could have learned it, like really learned it. ServiceNow and Salesforce has free vouchers and training if anyone wants to train. Yep. I did a session a couple of days ago as well with regards to other resources for people who want to get into tech. There's a group called, a company called launchcode.org. I'm going to actually pull it up here so you all can see it. There's a Black woman who is the executive director of this. So this is launchcode.org. Black woman is executive director of this. This is not just coding. If you want to do anything in tech, there are product management jobs, there are project management jobs, there's quality assurance, there's IT auditing, there's all sorts of opportunities. It's free. They are begging people to join this education here. There are 3 locations across the country, or you could take your classes virtually, and they have a recruiter attached to their program so that once you're done with the program, they will they can't guarantee you a job, but they'll connect you with some employers who want to hire people. We got to do something. Aerodemi Dive is saying they'll need to learn Mandarin, the most spoken language in the world. Yeah, Mandarin, Spanish, English. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, look, my final thing to talk about here, and I'm going to head out because it's longer live than I usually do, is just we need to come together. We need to come together in order to save ourselves, share information like we do in places like this, save our children, which was super important, coming together to pool our resources together, because when we do that, we can have a greater impact on our own lives. So I want this community to be a place where we're able to share information and where we're able to increase our revenues, increase our business revenues, increase our salaries, whatever it is you need to do. The final thing I think that we need to do is some of you need to just think about getting your safety plan together. I talked about that earlier, your physical safety, your mental safety, changing your algorithm within YouTube, finding other things to watch. Get your 2A. That's your gun laws, knowing your gun laws, getting concealed carry if you have to. Back the blue. Definitely backing the blue, moving out of poverty, moving out of impoverished areas. For some of you, that is 3 to 6 months out if you are able to get into some of these courses and communities that I'm talking about with you ladies, taking the classes, getting with the recruiters. Stephanie had mentioned, I don't know if she's still here, she had mentioned that she was taking UX on Coursera. So we need to figure out how we're going to do this. You need a group of people, and ultimately we need the skills, and we need the what do you call it? We just need the drive and the fortitude, because no one's coming to save us ultimately at the end of the day. We're all going to have to come together and save ourselves. So I'm going to read these final comments and get out of here. In junior high, my principal said we were in a global race. I'm glad he told me that, because I'm in tech and I see Indians overseas who have dual citizenship working the tech jobs from India. Yep. And this is an interesting thing about the Indians. There was something called the bamboo ceiling that was happening in tech. That's about to be shattered. At one point, Indians, Asians overall, they were seen as not having managerial skills. They didn't have the soft skills, things like that. They're learning, they're adapting. Things are changing for them. And once they start getting into management positions and being able to hire in these companies, it's going to be harder for Black women to get through some of these doors. So get in now, get the skills that you need now. If you want to open up a business so that you can work from home, you can get some government contracts or something like that, definitely do that. They're also working for lower wages. They won't be low for long. In fact, everything I'm seeing with the Indian wages are starting to go up. So, and they don't put much emphasis on wages, especially those coming from outside. So here's the thing. With those coming from outside of America, a lot of them want the visas, but over time, they're going to start pushing the wages up. Dumbing down our children to be forever consumers. Yep. I've worked in tech for over 19 years as an RN. On my channel, I talk about how nurses can get into tech. I've seen how tech has transformed healthcare in the last 20 years, and much more is coming. So everybody, go to Computer and Coin. Definitely support her channel. Yes, I'm changing my algorithm on social media. I need to lower my distractions. Me too. It's go time. Things are getting real. And so Stephanie is saying, Google and Coursera, still working on it. I will complete it. I know you will. I know you will, Stephanie. So look, that's the end of today's session. I hope I said something today that inspired you to kind of figure out what your next move is, whatever your next move is, and act on it. Act on it tonight, tomorrow morning, Monday morning, whatever you have to do in order to get yourself as safe as possible. So that's it for me. I will see you ladies on the next video. Take care.